I will now call to order the Wytheville Town Council meeting, Tuesday, May 26, 2026, at 5:30 p.m. Municipal Building at 150 East Monroe Street, Wytheville, Virginia. We do have a quorum. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilwoman Kathy Patterson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, I need approval of the agenda, please.
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Right, here none. This will be a roll call vote. Mr. Ham, please.
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye. Johnson, aye.
So, at this point, a motion and a second will be needed to enter a closed session under the Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711, A1, discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, specifically regarding the interview of an applicant for the Wall of Honor Committee. I need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye as well. Aye carried. So we will now reconvene into a closed session. Town council now finds it necessary to go back to an open session to certify the closed session. A motion and a second will be necessary to reconvene into an open session and to certify the closed session. Whereas the Wytheville Town Council has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and to accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Wytheville Town Council that such closed meeting was conducted confirming with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wytheville Town Council hereby certifies that the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meetings requirements by Virginia law and discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the Wytheville Town Council. I will now need a motion.
So move.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? I'd be roll call vote. Vice Mayor, please.
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Joseph Hand, aye.
All right, so we are now in open session.
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Aubrey Whitlow to the Wall of Honor Committee for a 4-year term, which expires February the 1st, 2028. It is a 4-year term.
We have a motion on the table. We
I
have a
second that, Madam Mayor.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Right, hearing none. I do a roll call vote.
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Joseph Hand, aye.
All right, that's it. So congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's no other business at this time. So we will take a recess until 6 o'clock.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
now at the consent agenda, and consideration by the Wytheville Town Council to approve the consent agenda consisting of the minutes of the regular meeting of the Wytheville Town Council held on Monday, May 11, 2026. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Right here, none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? Next on the agenda is to conduct a public hearing to consider ordinance number 1464, the fiscal year 2026-2027 budget ordinance on second reading. Before we open up the public hearing, we'll hear from staff report from interim town manager, Mr. Christopher Slimp, please.
Clicker's there. Okay, I'll go there. Yeah. I'll go up here real quick since the clicker's there. Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. Members of council, appreciate the time this evening. We will start, as the Mayor mentioned, this is our second reading of the budget. I'm going to hit some highlights. We had several work sessions on this. We've also, since our last meeting, there was a couple things that came up in the first reading that y'all had asked me to either change or look at. So I'll hit some highlights real quick. The proposed budget, again, is structurally balanced and maintains the core services of town. It aligns with council's and staff's priorities, supports capital projects that improve infrastructure and services, and supports town employees. Supportive of town employees. The proposed budget does not recommend any new taxes. Our tax rate will stay the same. Real estate rate at 20 cents per $100 of valuation. Mobile home tax rate at 20 cents per $100 valuation. Our machinery and tools rate at 33 cents per $20 or $100 valuation, and our personal property tax rate at 38 cents per $100 valuation. Since the reading of the first budget, we've made some minor changes based on some of the comments that we received. We added some funding back for our tourism program. We added, I was asked to look into, and we did, our computer department has never really had any funding or money to do training. In this day and age, that's not a good thing. So we've added money in there for them to be able to do training next year if they need to go to a class somewhere like that, based on all the cyber attacks that we have to deal with nowadays, and most companies in the industry do. We felt that was a good add back, and appreciate that being pointed out to us. The proposed general fund expenditures are $30,526,698. We had an increase of $2.2 million over last year. Roughly a lot of that was health insurance driven from the increases we received from our health insurance. The proposed wastewater fund expenditures are $11,619,798. And the proposed water fund expenditures are $5,723,603. The proposed total expenditures of all funds is $47,964,800. Our third reading will be June the 8th. So if there's any additional changes you'd like to make, if you could let us know those ASAP, please, so we can work up those. We'd greatly appreciate that, and we will do whatever y'all would like on that. Again, we've made the changes that we had talked about over the last couple of weeks, and we don't have any major changes since that first reading, other than what you've asked for. I'll entertain any questions y'all might have.
Questions for Mrs. Slimp?
Ones I had, we met. I appreciate that.
And I do appreciate those of you who've come in. We spent a lot of one-on-one time. I greatly appreciate that. Really do. Thank you all for giving me that time.
Thank you for your hard work. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We will move forward. So now we'll open the public hearing to receive public comments regarding ordinance number 1463, which is the fiscal year 2026-27 budget ordinance. So it is now open. Is anybody in the audience here to talk about the budget on public hearing? Am I missing anybody? All right, there's nobody out there? All right, so we will now close the public hearing. Consideration by the town council to approve ordinance number 1464, the fiscal year 2026-27, budget ordinance on second but not yet final reading. I need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to discuss the cost of living adjustment a little bit further, please. Presently, the inflation rate is 3.8%. And the word is, it could rise the first of the year to 3.9%. This council has proposed a 3% cost of living adjustment. I believe the inflation's going to eat up their raise. So I would like for us to reconsider the COLA adjustment to a 4%, just to help out to meet inflation.
So they would only get a 1% increase, give or take, if it increases. Am I understanding what you said correctly? You said it was currently 3.
Currently 3, and I'm proposing that we raise it.
No, the inflation. Did you say 3.9?
The inflation rate is 3.8
8.
presently.
Okay, and then it could go
It's
to...
anticipated to rise to 3.9 next year.
Right, and then that would only give them a 1% increase, is that correct?
Yeah.
Can we do 4.2 so that it's not just a 1%?
It's really not 1%. You can't do that. They're getting a inflation, yes, but it's a 3% or a 4% raise. But inflation, if you're doing it, I mean, you're interpreting that they're only getting a 1% raise. But they're actually getting a 3 or 4% regardless.
Regardless.
So
Right, I understand that that portion
So
of
they're
it.
not really getting a
I'm very
1%.
clear on that. But what I'm saying, if the inflation does raise, that's only going to give them 1% if it goes to 3.9.
It's a possibility. It could go higher
Right.
than now.
So can we do either 4.1 or 4.2?
Mr. Slimp, you and your budget committee, which consists of Ms. Pennington, Ms. Holton, Ms. Hildreth, what are your thoughts on, is it feasible for us to do this with?
Well, I mean, I know if we go from a 3%, which is what's in the budget now,
Yes.
to a 3.5%, that 0.5% is $70,429 to the bottom line. If we go from 3% to 4%, that 1% additional is $140,858 to the bottom line. So we could recalculate. I know we can definitely do the 0.5%. That one I feel pretty confident with. And I don't feel too bad if we go to 4. I believe that's doable. But we could recalculate that, and I can send that to y'all if y'all would like to, so you could know exact numbers for the bottom line. But
The 4.2.
yeah, the 4.2, yeah, because it's not just what you have to do is figure back retirements and FICA and tax stuff like that. So there's a little calculating for us to do, but
And I know we talked about
trying to figure out what that was, just on the ballpark on the fly here.
and I think council had agreed to do, to help on the insurance better, right?
Correct.
We're still going to do that as well.
Yes,
right?
yeah, and helping on the insurance also is, adds to that COLA to a degree. That makes it more of a true COLA for them.
I just still wanted to make sure we were clear on that. So,
We are,
okay, good.
because a lot of times what happens, and it happens in a lot of places, you get a cost of living, but then the health insurance eats up the cost of living raise. So,
That's how it used to be.
yeah, it's,
Right.
so, I definitely feel
I
good.
just want to share a couple thoughts. I just think it's really, really important to not forget a couple things. we did absorb the 8% increase of their insurance. We pay for that. We also give 1/2 week off extra per year, days that are not approved by the state. But it feels to me like 3.5. I think you have to look at the whole package and how good we are to the employees and all of the extra days we give them off, and we're paying all of their insurance increase. So I don't want to jump too fast to some 4 point something increase where
4.1 or 4.2.
I don't understand why it has a 0.1 or 0.2 and it's either 3 or 4. We have not ever given a raise of a point. That's just my thoughts. I don't understand why we would do point something. But I'm not, we're almost at the end of this. The budget is done. Now there's this big increase of pay, and I just want to talk about it more. But I think the employees need to look at their total, the package and what we actually supply and give. It is substantial. It's not a small, we have a great benefit package. So it is the state recommended a raise. The county is doing 3%. It does affect the county's budget because when the council votes for this, this also affects the pay for the water group. They get paid based on what the town votes on. The joint IDA also gets paid whatever we vote on. So that affects the budget of the county. It's not just us, it affects them as well. And I think we just need to understand that, because our pay affects those people outside of us here. But I don't want people to underestimate or just not forget how sweet of a package that we have here. It is substantial. And because of that, I think we should be careful, because we're already spending. We've been talking about spending, and yet here we are again, spending. I just don't know what to do at some point. We're just going to have to get on track with this, but I do not support a
Are the funds available for, is it going to put us in the hole?
Well,
Gonna
we're
create
still able to
problems?
balance. We've balanced, even at 4%, we've worked it out to balance. That can be done, yes. Well, in essence, yeah. On paper, that's always been the way the town has done that at the end of the year. Like right now, we were still to the positive Friday. And I delivered a large check today of dividend we got from the CRIFA. So that keeps us to the positive. So, we still balance fundamentally. We do, yes.
So I just want to say, I would like to ask you, in your opinion, 3.5 versus 4, as the manager of the town, how do you feel about that financially?
I definitely feel good about the 3.5. That's very easily within our range. When we get to 4 and we're using more reserves, I don't know I don't have a crystal ball to say what the future is going to be with that. But I think if you do 4, we can look at some other places where we might be able to. Well, I'll give you a good example. I don't know this yet, and I hate to go out on a limb like this, but one of the things we have in there, and I'll speak from just my experience as a fire chief. We've got money in the budget next year to re-chassis an ambulance, as an example, and I'm trying to get 50% of that paid for by the state. If I get that, I've covered the cost of the 0.5 by doing that. If that
But
makes
you got to
sense.
be careful
So
when you
we've gotta
think
be really
that
careful.
by saving funds there, you can put that in employee pay. Those are two very
Right.
separate items. I
Right.
just don't like that idea that we can save by not doing a truck to give employees the pay.
Right.
We can give employees the pay. I'm just trying to ask that us be in line, at least with the state, the county, a little bit more in line, but a full % over, plus the insurance. And as the manager of the funds, I'm asking you,
Well, I think you bring up a good point too. If we do, that does impact these other outside agencies that we're a
Entities, it
physical
does affect it.
agent for. So that is something we have to think. There's a domino effect to that. So again, I feel really good about the 0.5%. I think we can still muster the 1%, but it is
Your
quite a bit more
opinion.
money. It's my opinion.
You need to say it, buddy. It's okay to say
I would.
it.
I think if you're going with 3.5 and we haven't calculated exactly how much the other is, but I think by the time you calculate what we are doing with the health insurance part of it, that's significant amount of another COLA or adding to that COLA. So, I would not go past the 4% financially if I were you. I think 3.5 to 4 is where you want to stop. I wouldn't go past the 4.
All right.
Okay, because I think then we are getting into, we'd have to really go back to the budget and look at some stuff. But I would not go past that.
So Angela, we couldn't hear what you said earlier. What you said, I couldn't hear what you said.
She come to
Where
the
we
mic.
use reserves. When we're planning the budget, we use reserves to try to balance everything out. So it's just like, it's hypothetical reserves because we don't always tap into that because usually we end up in the black $1 million or so. But we just, in order to balance everything, that's what we use reserves because we can't really predict how much revenue exactly will come in each year.
We did, if you recall, there was one, back in one of the work sessions, I showed you some of the past history of reserves. And I think over the last 5 years, we'd always used reserves. We're using less this year than we have in the past, than we did last year. But I think the most we'd ever tapped into that was like $30,000 or $40,000 in a 5-year period. And that was maybe 2 or 3 years ago that there was, so, again, we don't have a crystal ball. We could have, and we've been watching our revenues with our motel and meals to make sure that we're staying on track, because that is the one thing we cannot predict. And other localities had seen a decline. We've been able to stay fairly steady, but we haven't seen a major increase with that. So, but I as manager, I would not go past 4. I'll put it to you like that. 3.5 definitely feel comfortable with being able to, that's not a problem. But if you go past 4, then we're going to have to rethink some stuff.
Okay.
So we can have more discussion and then before the next budget, or what do we need to do?
Yes, sir. I tell you what, we can do it. We don't want to go above what we post next time. So I can figure a budget with the 4% COLA, and if you decide we want to do 3.5, we can cut that back. But
I think it should be shown both ways.
we can do both. I mean, I can send you all
need to know
both.
what-
I guess, but what I'm publishing for the
Yes, sir.
public hearing, we don't want to go past 4, and we don't want to go past that because then we run into a problem, because we would have to repost and re-advertise. So I can send you numbers for both those and get a consensus from you if you like. We can do that.
Or if there's a
I'll support the 4%. Ms. Patterson, I think that was a good idea, and I will support that. I don't know how the other council members feel, Mayor Taylor, Ms. Atkins, but I will
I
support
would
the 4.
support the 4.
So y'all don't want to wait and see what Chief has to say?
Well, just because I know Ms. Patterson reached out to me, we didn't have dialogue, like a talking dialogue, and she just said she was going to, suggest an increase. So try to look at it to see what, the feeling.
It's what it is. Let's vote. Make a motion.
I make a motion that
We already
we
have a-
increase,
We already have a motion on the floor.
we already got one.
We have,
No, we didn't, did we?
yes, Candace and Joseph. Candace,
For the
I'm
budget.
sorry, Vice Mayor Johnson and Councilman Hand seconded the motion.
For the budget overall.
But,
This is, okay, so we're voting
but you
on
haven't
that.
For
voted
the
yet.
second reading.
Second
Apologize.
reading.
I forgot. Yeah, we got
I
off
think
track.
you would have to make that and then come back and say, now we want to do this to the COLA. And then we.
We do an amendment to
Yes,
that.
Yes.
Okay, so it reads now, consideration town council to approve the ordinance number 1464, the fiscal year 2026-27 budget ordinance on second but not yet final reading. And how are we amending that?
First, you need to do your roll call vote for your first motion, for your original motion.
Okay, all right. So for that, do we need a roll call vote? Mr. Hand?
Aye.
Edison, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
Now I'd like to amend and add to the amendment the cost of living adjustment from 3% to 4%.
Second. That amendment, please.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Do a roll call vote. Vice Mayor?
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Joseph Hand, no.
All right, next on the agenda. Next on the agenda is a presentation to Town Council, presentation of the April 2026 fiscal statement by Town Treasurer Angela Pennington, please.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Okay, so I'm just gonna work off the annual comparison paper that I usually work off of. Okay, so revenues, I compared last year to this year. Revenues are up 1.196 million. Expenditures are up 1.625 million. So compared to last year, we're 429,000 under where we set last year, but we are 623,000 in the black for this fiscal year. So we are in the positive. We are not in the negative. So that is a positive. Okay, so meals and lodging and sales tax. It says that overall we're under 147,000 from last year, but that's skewed because of Hurricane Helene numbers. I did compare first quarter 2026 to first quarter 2025 for meals and lodging. Meals tax is up $40,773 from last year, and lodging tax is up $53,055 from last year. So first quarter, we are ahead on meals and lodging. Any questions?
If I could point, I've had lots of conversations over the last couple of weeks with Angela about this too. We still have several reimbursements coming to us. We have one from FEMA. We have another one from, I know, state, and that's just from, like my department, we have some VDOT money still to come into us. We brought in money today from CRIFA,
Yeah, we
from
CRIFA,
our dividend there.
and we got
So
CDBG money.
Yep,
and
CDB. So we have some grant stuff still
Yeah,
to come back
coming
to
in.
us revenue-wise.
Yeah, all the due dates are passed for bringing in money, but we still got some random things coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Our next on the agenda is new business. Request from the Wytheville Fire and Rescue Department to close portions of Main Street for the annual fire preventive parade on Saturday, October 10th, 2026. Town Council needs to consider by the Wytheville Town Council to approve the Wytheville Fire and Rescue Department's request to temporarily close intersections and stop the flow of traffic on Main Street from North and South 11th Streets to North and South 4th Streets on Saturday, October 10th, 2026, from 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. for the purpose of conducting the annual fire prevention parade. So I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I hear none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye as well. Any opposed? All right. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Next is a staff report by Interim Town Manager Christopher Slimp, requesting authorization for the Wytheville Fire and Rescue Department to purchase Life Pack 15 cardiac monitors. Consideration by the Town Council to approve the request of Interim Town Manager Christopher Slimp to authorize the Wytheville Fire and Rescue Department to utilize in remaining the self-containing breathing apparatus, the SCBA, project funds in the amount of $22,000 for their purchase of LifeAct 15 cardiac monitors. We have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. This will be a roll call vote. Vice Mayor?
Johnson, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Patterson, aye.
Joseph Hand, aye.
Congratulations, there, Chief.
Thank you all.
Next
very
is state report by interim town manager Christopher Slimp regarding the current drought conditions and authorization for required actions.
much. Well, if I've done anything
Is it a
right,
drought?
if I've done anything right, it's probably put this on the agenda because the rain came. So,
I was going to say, did it not rain in Wytheville this
no,
week?
we
I'm just
actually,
picking.
I had all intentions of talking to the council about the various levels of drought and potentially starting a voluntary restriction conservation. I've had discussions today with our engineering guys, water and sewer, and I've also been on the phone with National Weather Service. We actually received for our area anywhere between 1.5 inches and 3 inches of rain over the last few days, and they expect a little more this week. So just so y'all know, I'll just leave it at this. We are monitoring that situation. We are not out of the drought by any means, but that has eased our situation, and I believe we can hold on any voluntary conservation for right now, but we will continue to monitor that. So I'll stick it on there again when we need rain, and maybe it'll rain again. So thank y'all.
Would
very
we
much.
need to do anything just in case, or just right now you're just good?
No, ma'am. In fact, the very first level of that, I believe, as a town manager, I can just go ahead and ask for voluntary conservation, but I believe we're good for the time being. So
Thank you.
thank y'all.
Does anybody have any questions for Mrs. Slimp? If not, I need a motion.
So moved. No. He's not
No,
going
we
to
don't
move
need a
forward with
motion.
it.
No,
He's not going to move forward
There's
with
no
it.
need for a motion at this time. Sorry.
All right, next on the agenda is a staff report by Assistant Town Manager Lane Holton regarding the council referring to the Wytheville Planning Commission, a request submitted by Randy Davis to rezone property located at 170 South 16th Street. Consideration by Town Council for to refer to the Wytheville Planning Commission, a request submitted by Randy Davis to rezone property located at 170 South 16th Street from a B1 business with conditions zoning district to B1 business zoning district.
This is an easy topic for tonight. Essentially, this is a procedural requirement. The Code of Virginia requires the town council to refer any rezoning applications to the Planning Commission. So if I can please have your consideration to send this application to the Planning Commission. After the Planning Commission hears the application, they will give a recommendation back to town council. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I need a motion from council
So moved.
to send to the Planning Commission.
Yes.
A motion and a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Your roll call vote, Mr. Hand?
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
Thank you all. Next is presentation and review of the suggested amendments to the 2026 Town Council Rules of Procedure by Town Attorney Paul Castle. And our attorney has not made it here yet. So we were gonna. Yeah, have you all heard from him?
He was still in a meeting in Bland last I heard from him, and it was running long, so he.
Okay, so,
We can table it if you
yeah,
want
let's
to.
table
That's
it.
whatever y'all like to do. I think
Is that-
That's okay with
Is that
council.
good with
We
you
need
all?
to table it as well.
Good. Thank you.
All right, so next on the agenda is citizens period, and and I don't have anybody here signed up for citizens period. So we will move forward. Next is staff time, interim town manager Christopher Slimp. Do you have anything?
Just a couple things, thank you. Number one, we did have the group from the state and some other economic development and downtown folks here last week walking around town. They were very impressed. We spent several hours with them, and I understand the next day we also got a shout out from the governor about how well we had done some things and with the awards. So that's I appreciate all those that came there that helped make that day possible. There's a lot of people behind the scenes working to do that, and appreciate Public Works with all the projects they've been doing. If you've noticed, we got flowers and pots around town now, and some new landscaping out here. So greatly appreciate all the Public Works efforts to beautify the town for the summertime we have coming up and a lot of the events that we'll soon be having. So myself and Mr. Hackler were walking Main Street one morning, and this guy walks by and said, "This is the prettiest town I've ever been in." So it was nice to hear that. So, but I appreciate all the efforts of everybody that's made all that possible. So thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. That's all I have.
All right. Miss Town Clerk Brandy Jones.
I don't have anything at this time.
That time, Assistant Town Manager Elaine Holton. Do you have
Nothing at this time.
All right, so it'll be council member time. Would you like to start?
I would like to say thank you to Miss Rosa Jude and the Wall of Honor Committee and the Police Department for all of their efforts. For the Room for the Wall, they were out in some very hot heat and working very hard. So I would like to thank them for all of their work, hard work and effort for the Room for the Wall.
Is it? What? A second?
She looked at my notes. No, I actually had that as well. That was a great Wall of Honor. I mean, Run for the Wall, and also the Memorial Day ceremony. We did have some rain, but it was a good event. Mayor Taylor was there, and I think it's going to grow every year. Had some bad weather that night, but thanks for all the departments that had a part in that. Thank you all. That's it.
Okay. Well, I'll just share with council that it has been tradition over the years that I've been here, and also back all the way through when what's his name? Trent, Mr.
Crew.
So it is. It's been tradition that we represent our town of Wytheville, at the Veterans Day memorial ceremony at the Veterans Cemetery in Dublin. So I would just ask for those that are listening and going forward, this has been a tradition. It's been going on for a long time. I feel just, everybody feels honored to be there. And so let's not make it slip next year, and make sure that we continue that. And I just do want to remind everybody again that the Red Cross is coming soon for blood draws for anybody in the town that wants to give blood. They can do that. And that's all I have.
A big shout out to the Public Works for their hard work down at the Wellness Center. Last week we were closed for maintenance. Understand from Mr. Sherritts that it was 99% completed, which is good. And I asked him what was lacking, what did you not get to do, and he said ceiling tiles they did not get to replace. Mr. Slip, we replace ceiling tiles every year. Do we still have leakage somewhere?
I don't know why he'd be I'm not sure why he'd be replacing them every year. I'd have to ask him to.
Well, I know last year we replaced ceiling tiles, and we're going to get to do it again this year. So
There shouldn't be. There needs to be a reason to replace them, not just to replace them.
Well, he said because of water damage. So
I thought we had the roof worked on.
we did.
There is. I will find out.
Just find out.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Find out why are we still replacing ceiling tiles. But big shout out to Public Works for the hard work that they did. So I haven't been down to see the new clean job they did, or the maintenance they did, but I'm sure they did a good job. Thank you.
I don't have anything, thank you.
So town council now finds it necessary to go into a closed session. A motion and a second it will be needed to enter closed session under Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711A. 1, discussing regarding the appointment of specific public officers and/or employee of a public body, specifically relating to the town manager's position, and under Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711A8, consultation with legal counsel regarding matters related to the Joint Industrial Development Authority of Wytheville County. I will need a motion, please.
Madam Mayor, before we do that, Mr. Castle isn't here, so how can we go into a meeting for legal counsel? What should we do if he isn't here?
Maybe take a break and we
This
can
is
take,
for legal counsel, so I don't know how we do it.
I don't know how
without
long
him.
he's going to be.
I mean, can you take,
He was in, let me see if it was, let's see. He just sent me a message. Let's see. He was still in Bland's. He's on his way. He just said it'd be about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Leaving his meeting.
can we
So
take
we'll
a
take a recess.
recess? Is that okay?
Is that okay?
Yep,
Thank you.
take a recess till Attorney Paul gets here.
Council for let us be a little bit more in detail
A motion and a second is needed to enter a closed session under the Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711A1, discussion regarding the appointment of a specific public officers, appointee, or employee of a public body, specifically related to the town manager's position. And under Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711A8, consultation with legal counsel regarding matters related to the Joint Industrial Development Authority of Wytheville County. I will now need a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second, Madam Mayor.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, this will be a roll call vote. Mr. Hand?
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
All right. We are now going into closed session. Good?
Yes,
Okay.
you said you're good.
Right, a motion and a second will be necessary to reconvene into open session and to certify the closed session. Whereas the Wytheville Town Council has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative record vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the Wytheville Town Council that such closed meetings was conducted in conformity with the Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Wytheville Town Council hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully expent from open meetings requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such public businesses matters as were identified in the motion convening into the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the Wytheville Town Council. I will now need a motion, please.
So move.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second, Madam Mayor.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Be a roll call vote. Mr. Hand?
Aye.
Patterson, aye.
Taylor, aye.
Atkins, aye.
Johnson, aye.
We are now in open session, and I don't think we have anything else to come before council tonight, so we are adjourned.